Tell me you noticed when Naruto stopped being about complex, morally grey characters to some Teletubby rainbow unicorn nonsense. Disclaimer: Naruto was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I will always have love for it. However, Kishimoto, the writer of Naruto, lost his way. He fell off bad, and I feel like he betrayed his fans. Yes, I'm using betrayed to describe how Kishimoto's writing affected me, and I'm sure affected a lot of people out there as well. Before I continue, if you're into stories in however shape they come, manga, anime, TV shows, movies, books especially, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to put on the bell notification. Don't forget to like as well. Let's start with character butchering. What happened to Neji? What happened to Shikamaru? What happened to Shino? What happened to Rock Lee? What happened to all these characters? During the Chunin exam, Kishimoto showed us so much promise with these characters, all of them having potential, all of them having their separate individual storylines that promised like an interesting arc. What happened to them? Why didn't he do anything with them? When Shippuden started, the focus became solely on Naruto and Sasuke. Why? Their story got old a long time ago. Sasuke was clearly not into Naruto, and Naruto kept nagging and just chasing after the guy. Sasuke had his own things to do, and Naruto would not stop chasing him. I never quite felt the bond I felt like Kishimoto wanted us to feel between Naruto and Sasuke. It never quite felt organic to me. They had moments, yes, but they were never that friendly. Watch it again and see what I'm talking about. They were never actually that friendly. It was a pure rivalry, and when they became best friends, I don't know. What happened to Naruto's character? Naruto started out as this kid that nobody would accept. He was just going to try his best to be the strongest ninja, even if he seemed like he didn't have any talent. Just through sheer hard work, he was going to make it happen. Like every single watcher of Naruto at the time could relate to that. In the later part of Shippuden, they made him this godlike character that was rainbow and peace and the bridge to connect the world and peace, world peace. Why would you do that to his character? From relatable character to a caricature of a naive idea. Sasuke. I enjoyed Sasuke's story. After his fight with Itachi, I could not recognize the character anymore. I was like,
I don't know who you are and I don't care what happens to you.
Sakura was always so annoying.
Sasuke-kun, Sasuke-kun, Sasuke-kun,
Sasuke-kun! Sasuke-kun what? Why? She now somehow became powerful enough to fight beside Naruto and Sasuke in the final battle. Like, are you kidding me? She didn't have as much potential as any other person in the Chunin exam. The Akatsuki, wearing those real villains. Every time I saw an Akatsuki member show up in Naruto, my first thought was,
damn, which one of my favorite characters are going to die today?
If I was ever writing a book, I would want my villains to give the readers that feeling. Who is going to die? These guys were cool. Kishimoto killed all of them up, then brought them back, and then made them wimps. All the emotional build-up, just carried it in a ball and just like turned it into trash. It became trash all of a sudden. Why would you do that to their characters? Let me give an example. Deidara. Do you remember Deidara and Sasori's conversations about what art was? Deidara believed that art was a blast, something that could only last in a moment, shine bright, burn fast, and boom, that is art. Sasori believed that art was something that could last the test of time. They believed so much in their philosophies, and I enjoyed watching them go back and forth. When Deidara died, when he was fighting Sasuke and he knew that he was going to lose that battle, then he turned himself into a bomb and blew up. His last words, art is a blast. What a way to die. Die believing in your own philosophy. That is how you kill a villain. I had more respect, his first death at least, than when he was alive. Why? Because he died believing in his philosophy. Cool way to go. But then they brought him back, and then he was a wimp when they brought him back. Like, why? Why would you do that to their characters? Why kill off characters and bring them back to life? Why not just create new characters? My first thought is he was being lazy, but I am just being harsh right? No. Did you also notice how every group had a Naruto and a Sasuke? You don't believe me? Madara, first Hokage, Sasuke, Naruto. Orochimaru Jiraiya, Sasuke, Naruto. Obito and Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, and then Naruto, Sasuke, and I'm sure there are more examples. Why can't you just create new characters? Why does every team have to have a Naruto Sasuke template? Lazy writing. Lazy, absolutely lazy writing. I'm not so into that anime trope where the main character is just like so elevated above everybody else. It just makes everybody else seem like a useless side character. Naruto had so much potential in that aspect, and that is what makes it so painful with Naruto. He did not do justice to these characters. And yes, I feel betrayed. Kishimoto betrayed the fans when he started to neglect the other characters that so many of his fans out there loved. That was betrayal. Let's talk about the fights. It was actually about skills. How well could you use your powers and your intellect to defeat your opponent? What happened in Shippuden? In Shippuden, it just became about who could shoot the biggest fireball. Naruto is the greatest example of this. Every single time he encountered a powerful enemy, that element of Naruto of unpredictability and coming up with stuff in the middle of battle that will help him win his battles, all that element that made Naruto's fight so interesting went out of the window. Oh, one tail is not enough, I'll add two. Two tails not enough, I'll add three. At the end of the day, dude is even losing his mind, so he's not even the one fighting. Why? The fights in Naruto used to be intricate chess matches, you know? And then all of a sudden we lost that element, and I just couldn't recognize what I was watching anymore. It's like, this is not what I signed up for. And this goes back to what I was saying. The writer became lazy. He couldn't think of the quick things anymore. He just started like giving us nonsense. This will not be a Naruto rant if I do not talk about No Justsu. Influencer no Jutsu, Buddha no Jutsu. Naruto has to be the greatest influencer of all time. Listen to Pain's speech here.
Everyone feels the same pain of losing something dear. You and I have both experienced that pain. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. We are both just ordinary men who have been driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice. And if one gets to call vengeance justice, such justice will breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred.
No Justsu.
I changed my mind. Let's be friends.
After 3 minutes of conversation, are you kidding me? This is the greatest example I can give for No Justsu. Now I want to give a moment of silence for all the great characters just made irrelevant or just made to look stupid because of No Justsu. Let's talk about the final war. So remember when things were simple and Orochimaru was the main bad guy? When we found out that, oh, Orochimaru wasn't actually the main bad guy, and there was this organization called the Akatsuki, and their leader was Pain. Pain came into the village, did all he did. It was like, Pain is such a really good bad guy. And then what happened? It turns out Obito was the main bad guy. Okay, who is Obito? Mysterious guy, right? But then it was revealed that it wasn't actually Obito, it was Madara. Oh, Madara. Could you be talking about the first guy? Talking about the guy that fought the first Hokage, that Uchiha, he's still alive? Like, damn, what a really cool bad guy, right? Nope, it wasn't him. It turns out it was Zetsu. Zetsu? Yes, the villain that had the black and white thing. It was like, okay, that is a bit stretching it, but I don't really know character development, so I don't really know much about Zed, so I don't really get the villain vibe from him. But like, okay, if you're gonna go with that, but no, she wasn't the main thing. It turned out to be the mother of ninjutsu. They just brought her out of nowhere and then just tied the whole story together in such a rushed way and told us that that was the main bad guy. For me, that whole thing stopped making sense after Madara. The bad guys I had respect for were the Akatsuki. I had no respect for all these guys that were just popping up out of nowhere. Why do that to us? To actually think that Kishimoto would want the fans that were paying attention from the start to accept it? Nah. Maybe he just didn't care anymore, man. I just feel like my dude didn't care. He made his money and he was like, peace. Final thoughts. Even after the show became bad, for a very long time I kept making excuses and hoping to get better. My brother who got me into Naruto gave up at some point. He was just like, I can't do this anymore, and I still kept watching and watching and watching. Why? Because I love this show that much. But after a while, like I finished watching the show, but it was torture, to be honest. Like I had to like drag myself through the mud. Like I was burnt out a couple of times, but then I patted myself in the back, you know, encouraging myself I could do this, not because I was enjoying it in the slightest, quite the opposite actually, but because I started this wonderful story and I had to see how it ended. Doesn't that just sound like an abusive relationship? As you can clearly tell, I've held on to this for so long and I absolutely needed to get it out. I'll do a similar review to Harry Potter, but too many people I like are into Harry Potter and I don't want to hurt their feelings. Yeah, let me know if you want me to do that in the comment section below. If you didn't know it now. I'm a writer. You can check out my story in the link down in the description. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you would like to have a discussion with me about any of my reviews, check me out on my Discord. Like, give me a follow on Instagram. Don't forget, you can't catch a moment, you can only experience it. Peace.
Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!